Good day to all. It is what we're told the 29th of October 2024 and the time is 7:27 a.m. in the morning. And I want to start you with this. Listen to this. Let me just find it again. Here you go.
So a lot of people ask me about the reset, why their grandfathers or their great-grandparents never talked about it, or why they didn't remember a reset. Let's go over a little bit of a timeline of events. So we have first, the Cabbage Patch Baby, or the depiction of the great repopulation effort after the reset. Farm-produced babies, farm-distributed babies. And this is why we have the common machine-produced babies and Cabbage Patch Baby. I believe this shows the old world technology of cloning. Perhaps this is why we have so many NPCs today. Perhaps the ones with no internal monologues. Almost half of the population. And then we have these Cabbage Patch Babies sent out on the orphan trains, as well as with the foundlings, the survivors of the reset, taken away from their families, sent to faraway lands across this realm, broken and separated from all their roots. And those Cabbage Patch kids and foundlings ultimately ended up here in the many orphan asylums, scattered throughout, especially in the new lands of America, where they were told the narrative of the new world's history, and the masses unaware of their true past, and none of their elders there to tell of it, were all that much easier to control and install the new narrative. And from the many orphan asylums, the surviving adults who did not comply with the new narrative were sent to asylums of their own. Children taken away, sent to the orphan asylums, while the adults were kept in the mental asylums. And that is how these parasites have gotten away with it. Why there are only fragments that remains of our true past. But this is just my opinion and how I think they went through the steps to erase our true history and knowledge of it. Add that and a few great fires, and the rest is history. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
And that is from Question Everything on Facebook and posted on the 26th of June. Think about that. I'm going to be talking some more about that. But before I do, I would urge you to go and look at Jeff Berwick's latest one, The Dollar Vigilante. While you sleep, they live. I haven't watched it all, but what I have watched so far is a very, very good presentation. Look at those two memes in front of you. If you can poke royalty in the chest, then you're their bitch. That's Evelyn Rothschild with his finger in the chest of the then Prince Charles. And there is, again, the then Prince Charles with that, there isn't enough words to describe it in English language. The deprivation of that man who stands behind him. I say man, loosely. It's Jimmy Savile, if you don't know. But I've been thinking about a number of things, and that audio you just listened to from Question Everything, been thinking about that a lot. And the FEMA camps that they're establishing today in America are the asylums and the orphanages of the past. If you've ever been in one of those asylums of the past. I have. I was 17, 18 years old. Went with a friend who went to visit her mum. His mum. And I had to get out. I felt so traumatised by what I was experiencing there, and I can remember it quite well. I had to get out, and little did I know then about energy, frequency and vibration and such stuff like that. But I was just so traumatised by what I was witnessing there, I had to get out. And there was no Bill Gates there. There was no Klaus Schwab there. You know, herding these people and whatever. It was human beings that were doing that. Human beings that were working for their masters in ignorance and or in fear to perpetuate the enslavement of their fellow human beings. And that's what human beings do. In that presentation, he spoke about clones, NPCs, this, that, and the other. And I'm becoming more and more aware of those that walk amongst us. They're those that oil the machinery for their masters. And I look at myself even more with awe and wonder, humble awe and wonder, that I have walked this incarnation, be 64 in January, and it has brought me and continues to bring me to a state of awareness and knowing as to how this system works. I don't know all the answers. I really don't know all the answers. I know what's wrong. And I see it with those who wear the uniform, the one form. Thought that was, I've been up early, normally up early, but when you look at how assimilation works, let's just take what history shows us is the British Empire. First of all, England conquered the Welsh and the Scots and the Irish, and then they assimilated them into what's called the United Kingdom or Great Britain, and they come to serve their masters. Those who conquered them take the Queen or King's shilling and do their bidding throughout the world. That's what happens when you're assimilated. And you stand proudly under the flag of your nation, whatever your nation is. But the Union flag, a lot of people call it the Union Jack. It's not the Union Jack unless it's on a naval vessel, on a jack mast. It's a Union flag. It's a flag of the Union telling the story of England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland, Northern Ireland, that have been assimilated into one. So for those of you that say you're a proud Englishman, or a proud Welshman, or a proud Scotsman, or a proud Irishman, ask yourself if you serve your country or if you serve the United Kingdom or Great Britain, and if you pay homage to it, and if you proudly wave the flag of your masters. Flags are the dusters given to us by our masters to polish their mansions, to give you a form of identity that separates you from another flag and those that represent it. And so as human beings, you're forever fighting them throughout history and conquering them. It's amazing how human beings can conquer other human beings, but they can't conquer the self. Have no understanding of what it is to conquer the self. I do, and I speak of it on my channel. And again, wherever you're watching, if you're not watching on my main BitChute channel, I have two BitChute channels. My main BitChute channel, link to it is in the description box below. You have little or no comprehension of what I'm trying to talk to you about. But I urge you to pay attention and pay heed, and to seek to unlearn, or to challenge at least, all that you think you know, in order that you may learn again. That's how I spend my days. So I spend my days. Cloning. In that audio I played you at the beginning, now look at what Elon Musk is doing there on the left. And he's not doing anything new. First we had the test tube baby, didn't we? Can't think of her name. Back in the 70s. Then we had Dolly the sheep, cloning Dolly the sheep. And all we're doing is replicating what went on before. Because those Cabbage Patch babies, to certain are probably your grandfathers and grandmothers and whatever, that give birth to your mothers and your fathers that give birth to you. Amnesia, they can't remember. All they can talk about is what they were told and taught in the orphanages and etc. So when you can really, really look at it deeply like that, it's mind-blowing. It's blown my mind. And my mind is fragmented. And what I'm trying to do is take those fragments of the mind and come to a state of awareness and knowing. That's how I live my life, this incarnation. I never set out to do this, or did I? But I know that that's what's happened to me, especially over these last 40 years. And it is pitiful to me to see people that I once owed so much to for helping me on this journey. And they're so distant in the past, still caught in the trap, the matrix, the false matrix. And again, matrix means womb, uterus, origin of source. Womb, uterus, feminine. We are born physically of the feminine at this moment, or so we're led to believe. And it is the feminine that is the creator of all that was, is, and will be. The masculine has come along and put the proverbial fuck into that in order to control it and to harvest the energy, frequency and vibration of that which was creation itself, and perpetuates that throughout so many individual and collective incarnations. Steiner was right, Rudolf Steiner was right. They are after the soul, and I see that so clearly now. through their medicines and this, that, and the other. It's not just medicines, it's a television and whatever. And again, at the risk of boring those that watch me and listen to me, there's always somebody new coming along that, you know, hasn't done what a lot of you have done and listened to all my uploads, broadcasts. When John Logie Baird discovered by putting all these certain objects, inanimate or whatever, together in a certain order and introducing a power source, he discovered the television. And one of those objects that he used was what's called a spirit tube. And I think it was Oliver Lodge that developed that. It might have been Sir William Crookes. Do the research, find out yourself. And they, whoever it was, developed it in order to try and communicate with dimensions, realities beyond the third dimension. And I think all they ever got to was what we know as the spirit world, which is absolutely no frigging different to the physical reality in which we think we exist, live in, you know, or are living in, apart from the physical form. It's amazing to me how much I have learnt and then unlearnt on this 40-year journey to come to this greater awareness and knowing. And as I do so, it's amazing to me that those that have featured on that 40-year journey haven't done the same. And then I look around and I awoke only to find the world still sleeping. And I still see that. I still see that. Perhaps I'm the same. Perhaps I'm not awake. Perhaps I'm only dreaming I'm awake. I don't know. But what I know is, and have a knowing and an awareness, is my heartfelt intention, is that with my heartfelt intention, something ain't right. Something ain't right, and I seek to understand all that is not right in order that I may find what is right. I can't remember who said it. He said, don't go looking for the truth. Look for the lies. And if you find the lies, understand the lies, and do away with the lies, then what you're left with is truth, or words to that effect. And that's how I live my life. I try to live my life. I'm one of them. I'm not fixated, and haven't been for years, on the material things that so many crave and need in their life. And that makes me different. And I know I'm not alone. I know there's many people out there the same. But however, there are many that are not. And I know I go on about it a lot. But if we are to be truly free, then the truth must be free. And when I got up yesterday morning, I think it was, there was a reel there on Facebook from Night God, who I watch a lot, and I've learnt much from him, this, that and the other. But there he is, talking about how he's lost his ability on one or more of his platforms to actually earn an income. Woe is me, is the cry from him. And, then he's talking about not getting the respect he deserves. You arrogant bastard. Nobody deserves respect unless they earn it. And then, if you've earned it, you don't need to talk about it. By their deeds, you will know them. But there he is, saying how much he's devoted his life or whatever, sacrificed his life to this cause to try and awaken people. No, you haven't. You've devoted it to yourself to make money, or you've sacrificed in order to make money. If you're going to be talking like that, then that's what you've done. I've spoke a couple of times over the last 4 or 5 years about a post from 6-8 years ago that Aidan Hall put up on Facebook. AIDENHALL, where he was spitting feathers after coming off the phone talking to a medium, another medium, and this medium was telling him how he was earning well over 4 figures, well over £1,000 a month for his mediumship. And Hayden was spitting feathers about it because it's an obscene amount of money that can only be harvested by preying on the vulnerable. And I was the first one to comment and obviously sided with Aidan, this, that and the other. And then a German physical medium come on by the name of Kai Muggi. And he started off by saying, as one who has sacrificed their life for spirit, and then went on like that. And I'm sitting in my room fucking boiling over, and I wrote, one does not sacrifice their life to spirit unless one wants something in return. That's what a sacrifice is. You give up something to get something. I said to him, if one is doing it properly and with all good intention, one devotes their life to spirit. And he jumped straight back at me, said, okay, enlightened one. I said, and on reflection, many a true word spoken in jest, because he was having a go at me. But I replied to him, that implies that you're not then. And that was the end of that conversation. Because he said about what he'd done standing on railway platforms, late at night to get home after doing this, that and the other somewhere, a demonstration or talk or whatever. And I remember one of Aidan's sitters in his own circle went to see Kai Muggi and paid £90 for a ticket to sit in one of his seances. £90 fucking pound. Stuff like that makes me sick. And it makes me sick when the truthers are doing it as well. And thinking, trying to not only harvest your physical and material energy, frequency and vibration, money, but also your emotional. Like God and people like you, if you're going to do this, do it for the right reasons, because it's the right thing to do. I, on reflection, have sacrificed my life for the truth. My incarnation, my relationships with people, this, that and the other. It may well be that I have sacrificed all of that for the truth. And if that is true, if that is a charge, then I stand guilty and admit to it. Because for me, there is nothing more important and relevant than the truth. And if it has cost me relationships, this, that, and the other, those relationships would only have held me back. I'm not concerned with that. It doesn't bother me because I know this is all an experience. Good, bad, indifferent. It's all an experience. And in experiencing, one surely must learn. And in the context of this presentation, what I've learned is not everybody wants to be free. Not everybody wants the truth. Some people are comfortable with their shadows and the prison of the mind and being controlled by those outside of themselves. And in doing so, then you have given away your purest and truest essence, your light, and your ability to be all that was, is, and will be, so others can feast upon it. Not me. Not me. You do what you want to do. And you keep coming back in darkness, in fear, and in ignorance. But don't expect someone like me to want to do that. In an ideal universe, that which I am and what I represent, all the different incarnations on my soul's journey, this, that, and the other, for me, in an ideal world, none of that would have existed. But it has, and it will continue. Whether it continues with me having awareness of that, or others controlling that, is completely and utterly down to me. Not me, Barry, the person, the man, or me, Barry, the spirit. Not me, Barry, the ego or the mind, but me, that which I truly am, the I am. The microcosm of the macrocosm of that which is creation itself, and thus source consciousness. I seek to become conscious of all that I become aware of, instead of being controlled by my mind and my ego and my emotions. That's what I seek to do. Doesn't always happen. I do get angry, as my channel will tell you. But that anger is sacred anger, and it's born out of frustration that I see so much pain and suffering and genocide going on, not just today, but have borne witness to it in the past. And I seek to change all that. And in order to change that, I have had to change me, and I continue to seek to change me. See that picture on the right there? I took that picture, I don't know, 6, maybe 7 years ago, maybe even a bit longer, at Westwood in Limage Forest. The reason I took the picture, because of this tree in the foreground. In the bark, there's a face on it. And that's why I took that picture. And I had it on my phone for ages, and a year or two at least. And then I was looking at it one day and I see something else. Do you see it? Took me a year or two to see that. And then once I see that, I see other stuff. I kid you not. Whether you accept my word as my bond and my truth is entirely up to you, because you're a different state of hopefully awareness and knowing that I am. And you might still identify as a human being. I don't. I identify in this physical expression of that which I am as man and mankind, and I seek to find others of that ilk, which is why I do what I do. If you're a human being and you're looking for something else, then I will always share with you. If you're questioning, I will always share with you. And that's all we can ever do, people. Because it's the right thing to do, and we do it for the right reasons. Not because we want to become famous and accrue money and, adulation and this, that and the other from others. You've got to sacrifice all that. All that credibility and everything else that goes with it, so-called credibility, and just do the right thing because it's the right thing to do without seeking a reward, because it won't serve you unless you have become aware and continue to become aware. That's the only reward that you should be seeking. Your own personal awareness and knowing of that which I am truly is. And if on that journey you can share in order to empower, enlighten and enable another, because it's the right thing to do, then do it for the right reasons. That's what mankind is all about. Humans ain't. Humans are not like that. Humans are about battling each other because they can't fight themselves. Humans about preying on each other. Everything is external with human beings. Nothing is internal. And that's the fundamental difference between human beings and mankind. Mankind is natural and lives within natural cycles in nature. There ain't a lot of that left. Not in its purest form. So when you find it, embrace it. Embrace it. And seek to understand it. Because nature will show you what you truly are, as intimated by that. It will show you your light, and it will help you shine that light on that darkness. It's what nature will do. But if you want to maintain yourself as a human being, then nothing I or anybody else like me can say will ever help you. Can't help you. If you have foregone the true I am, the source consciousness, the soul essence, the Lucifer, the light and the way within, in order for external riches, so-called riches, I can't help you. Nobody can. But if I can help you, and you want to be helped, then it is my duty as man to do so. And it is everybody's duty to do so. We just got to wake up to that. Otherwise, we'd be forever reaching outside of ourselves to our corporate and spiritual masters in the seen and the unseen, the heard and the unheard. That's all that matters to me, what you see there. That's all that matters to me. And I have let go of the so-called benefits of the physical world, be that families or friendships that I've been born into. I'm always there for them if they want to walk the path that I'm walking, but I don't want to walk the path so many others are walking, because there's nothing in it for me. I've sacrificed all that in order that I can know that which I truly am. Yes, I've got a roof over my head, clothes on my back, food in my stomach. That's all I need in order that I may seek to understand this third dimensional reality and those that surround it. That's all I need. You know, hermits would go off into a cave in order to philosophize over life and this and that. You don't need to do that. You need to understand what it is to do that. Plato's cave, the allegory of the cave, etc. But you don't need to go into a cave. You need to go into you, deep within you, where all your shadows are, all your traumas, all your experiences, etc., etc. Work through them. Heal them. Heal yourself. Find your light. Become the light. And share the light. And that is both the meaning of life and the purpose of life. The meaning of life is to find purpose. And the purpose of life is to find meaning. If you don't waken to who and what you truly are, you will forever be subservient to all that outside of you that controls you and controls the greater narrative. Go where angels, angles, arc, light fears to tread. You will suffer mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You will suffer. Make no mistake about that. But it is worth all that suffering to sacrifice all of that which no longer serves you in order that you may just be the I am. This message resonates. Share the message. Don't share me. Share the message. Look in the description box below. Find my BitChute channel. You can contact me through MeWe or Facebook or my email address. I'm there for you. Don't want nothing from you. I just want you to pay attention. Don't pay me. Pay attention. If you want to pay, there's plenty of others out there that will take your silver if you want to cross their palm on it. Not me. I want the gold. And I want to share the gold that can only come from finding the light that we carry within us. Palamia. Thank you. In Lakesh, in you I see another me. Mitako Yasin, we are all related. We are all relatives. And I tell you again and again and again, we're all connected.